The night of our engagement gala was supposed to be the pinnacle of my life. Instead, Hudson Montgomery left me standing alone beneath the crystal chandeliers, in front of every powerful family in Manhattan. 30 minutes later, a video went viral. Billionaire heir proposes outsider, a love for the ages. The diamond ring meant for my finger glittered on Nora Whitlock's hand. When Hudson finally called, his voice carried that carefully measured guilt I'd come to recognize. "Jade, listen to me. Nora tried to take her own life. The ring, the proposal, it's just a temporary measure to keep her stable. It's medical, essentially. She saved my life years ago. She's like family to me. But I swear, you're the only woman I actually love." I had spent 8 years piecing him back together. I stayed when his reputation was in the gutter. Through the rise of the Montgomery Empire, I believed his extenuating circumstances. I believed in us. A year later, I was 4 months pregnant. Nora's old condition flared up again. This time, she demanded I terminate my pregnancy. She used her life as the ultimate bargaining chip. Hudson knelt before me, his eyes cold and desperate. "Jade, she's relapsing. If she hadn't pulled me from that burning car years ago, she wouldn't have this trauma. I owe her my life. I'm begging you. Get the procedure. Don't trigger her. Please, just this once." I was forcibly wheeled into the operating room. When I opened my eyes, the world felt hollow. My baby was gone. Then a cold, mechanical voice echoed in my mind. "Warning. The target of your redemption mission has intentionally harmed your offspring. Mission failed. Identity erasure countdown, 72 hours. Once the countdown concludes, the system will match you with your true soulmate as compensation." I stared at the sterile white ceiling, a bitter smile tugging at my cracked lips. The door creaked open. Hudson walked in. He sat on the edge of the bed, reaching for my hand out of habit. The moment his fingers brushed mine, I flinched, pulled back as if his skin were acid. His hand froze midair. A flicker of irritation crossed his face, quickly replaced by practiced remorse. "Jade, about the baby, I'm so sorry." His voice was raspy. To anyone else, he'd sound like a man in mourning. "Nora developed PTSD because of what happened to me. She slit her wrists tonight. The doctors said the only way to keep her from doing it again was to..." He swallowed. "I couldn't just watch her die, Jade." I turned my head slowly and looked at his tear-streaked face. My voice came out dead calm. "Hudson, that was your child too." His eyes turned a bruised red. His fists clenched so hard his knuckles went white. "I know, but I owe her. My life belongs to her." He exhaled sharply, trying to steady himself. "Jade, once she's fully recovered, we'll make this right. We'll have a life together. I promise. Always the same promise. Wait for her recovery, sacrifice our wedding. Keep her stable, kill our child." I didn't say a word. Hudson took my silence as submission. His posture softened. "Get some rest. I've ordered the best recovery supplements. Nora's still unconscious, and I'm worried. I need to check on her, but I'll be back later." He left quickly, hurried steps. Frantic, he didn't look back once. The system voice chimed again. "Countdown, 1 hours remaining." Due to the male lead's extreme malice toward the host, the system will now begin reclaiming the fortune granted to him. I sat up, my body screaming in pain, and ripped the needle from the back of my hand. Blood trickled down, blooming into dark red stains on the white sheets, a haunting sight. It looked exactly like the shattered remains of the life I'd lost on that operating table. Hudson's secretary pushed the door open, carrying a glossy boutique bag. "Mrs. Montgomery, Mr. Montgomery asked me to bring this. He said it's a token of his appreciation for your understanding." I opened the bag. Inside was a Harry Winston sapphire necklace. The piece he'd promised me for our first anniversary, a promise he'd forgotten until now. I tossed it into the trash can beside the bed without a second thought. "Where is he?" the secretary stammered, shifting his weight. "He's in the next suite." Miss Whitlock woke up. She mentioned she wanted the sea bass broth from that place in the Hamptons. Mr. Montgomery went to fetch it personally. I nodded, slid out of bed. and put on my shoes. I brushed past him and walked to the room next door. Through the crack in the door, I saw him. Hudson sat by Nora's bed, carefully blowing on a spoonful of broth before feeding it to her. Nora sniffled, her eyes wide and innocent. Hudson, Jade won't hate me for this, will she? Hudson paused, his expression softening into a tenderness he hadn't shown me in years. Don't overthink it. She's a rational woman. Besides, she's strong. She'll bounce back. You're different. Nora, you're fragile. I leaned against the cold corridor wall, listening. I expected a sharp pain, a stabbing in my heart, but there was nothing. Only a vast, echoing emptiness. Hudson came out to throw something away and nearly ran into me. He froze, his face darkening instantly. Why are you out of bed? I told you to stay put. I looked up at him. For the first time, I realized how shallow his eyes were, how thin his love truly was. Hudson, you wanted to pay Nora back for saving your life. Well, I just paid the bill for you. He frowned, his lips parting to speak. I cut him off, so we're even. You and I, we're done. He must have heard the finality in my tone. Panic flared in his eyes, and he grabbed my shoulders. Jade, don't be like this. I didn't have a choice. He tried to pull me into a hug, but his phone vibrated violently in his pocket. I saw the screen. Nora? Hudson looked at the phone, then back at me, indecision written all over his face. Go, I said softly. She needs you more than I do. Hudson bit his lip, turned, and started walking away. Wait for me, I'll explain everything when I get back. I watched his retreating back until he disappeared around the corner. Then I slid down the wall, my strength finally giving out. System, I whispered. I'm here. Since my identity is being erased, does that mean everything of mine will vanish too? Correct. Every trace of your existence will be purged once the countdown ends. Good. I didn't want to leave a single scrap of myself for him to hold on to. Hudson stayed by Nora's side all night. The next morning, looking haggard and exhausted, he entered my room. Jade, Nora was having nightmares all night. He stopped when he saw me sitting by the window. I didn't even turn around. He sighed, his voice dropping into that gentle,